Welcome once again to the New Spanish Academy. This is none other than Spanish Freestyle Lesson. In the previous lesson, I think we had the phrase none other than nada más y nada menos. If you didn't see it, then you must go check it out. I think it's one of the shortest lessons that we have here. And that's what I tried to do. I tried to have short lessons because if you go to our membership, we have the general course, which is the main course. And then we have another let's say side main course, which is the verb course, and the videos are usually about an hour. So I try to give you like some other series where you can see shorter videos. We have the drill sniper series, and we have the Spanish freestyle lesson series, which I try to make short, and usually it doesn't happen, but sometimes I do manage to make them short. This is the New Spanish Academy, la nueva academia de español, and I was walking home after lunch with my family and all that, and on the way I had an idea. I thought, I don't know, I'm thinking about stuff, and I thought about this phrase that I'm gonna tell you, and I didn't write it down, so I forgot. So I forgot about it. Okay, so I tried to remember it and I couldn't. All right, so sub story. But despite it all, we're still here, and I'm gonna give you another dope, great Spanish freestyle lesson, and yeah, we just freestyle a lesson for you. And yeah, I like this phrase, despite it all, right? Despite it all. It's a good phrase. I like it. And if you don't know, the sniper drill course is where I teach you drilling exercises for sequences, words, connections between words, pronunciation, or similar words and stuff like this. It can be one word or several one-worded, similar words and such. In the freestyle lesson, I give you phrases, more like phrases, right? And yeah, so the phrase we're looking at right now is despite it all, which in Spanish is a pesar de todo. All right, I think it's a very nice phrase because, as a beginner, nobody expects you to say something like that. So if I'm a beginner English speaker and I say, English very difficult language, despite it all, I'm not giving up. And you're like, whoa, despite it all, who taught you that? Is it the New English Academy? Do they have that? Okay, so despite it all in Spanish is a pesar de todo. Very easy. A pesar de todo. You know a, you know de, you know todo. Maybe. If you don't know, we're gonna do a little bit of repasar. Repasar is review. We're gonna do a little bit of a review. Review. Okay, repasar is rather to review. All right, so now I just got into other words, and this happens sometimes when I'm explaining. I just start getting into other words, and then I get sidetracked. So repasar is to review, and what was I gonna say? I forgot about it. All right, so a review. Okay, a review. Un repaso, just a review. A review. All right, so there's a difference between a repasar, to review, which is the verb, and then we do un repaso. All right, so you don't get confused. So we're going to repasar. We're gonna do un repaso, a review. All right, perfect. Okay, so despite it all, a pesar de todo. Okay, so now that we have this amazing phrase, I'm gonna give you, as usual, some nice sentences. Okay, so all right, let's make some space. All right, so a pesar de todo, seguimos aquí. All right, despite it all, we continue. Seguimos. All right, so to be continue, that we see sometimes in movies or websites and such, or websites is under construction, but to be continue is continua, continuará. Basically the same word, continue, continuar, because to continue in Spanish is continuar. All right, and continent is continente. Okay, again, we just went somewhere else. But I think it's important, you know. I think that when you learn a new language, it's very important to know the words that you already have in your pocket, basically that are similar to your language, in this case English, because if you already know the word continent and you want to use it, then you want to know how to use it. Why are you gonna guess? Is it continental? Maybe it's continental, los continenta. No, it's continente. Now you know it, so now you can start using it, okay? So basically moving the process. Also, it helps you, instead of thinking about remembering the word continent in Spanish, you get to work on the pronunciation, all right? Same thing with the word, for example, Argentina, or Argentine, how do you say it? In Spanish is Argentina, Argentina. So basically the same word, same spelling, but you say Argentina, same as with Mexico, which in English is Mexico, all right? So basically you don't have to think about remembering, you don't have to think about the phrase, you just have to think about how to sound good, okay? So a good way to learning how to pronounce is actually learning words that you, in a way, already know. And that's actually a very good tip that I, you know, in general, that I give people when they want to learn languages, and the one that I used as well when I was learning Chinese back in the days. All right, so basically learning how to say, you know, countries, because you kind of already know it. So just remembering Chinese words is so difficult that if you know how to say the, you know, counterpart of the name of a country, sometimes it's similar, then it helps you feel the language, feel the pronunciation, and maybe also work with the characters and spelling and such, with which is related to Chinese. In this case, we're talking about Spanish, and we are way out of line right now. So let's go back to where it all started, you know. So we just got derailed, sidetracked, but a pesar de todo, despite it all, seguimos aquí. As I said, we are still here. A pesar de todo, despite it all, all right? Let's make some more space because we're preparing for some more sentences. All right. So, a pesar de todo. A pesar de todo, el esfuerzo que hemos hecho ha valido la pena. Wow. All right. In fact, this is one that I should make a video about because it's a good phrase. So, valido la pena, it means it's been worth the while, or valer la pena, vale la pena, and such, right? But a pesar de todo, despite it all, el esfuerzo, the effort. So effort, esfuerzo, esfuerzo, all right? El esfuerzo que hemos, that we have done, hecho, hemos hecho, we have done, que hemos hecho, that we have done, ha valido la pena, has been worth the while. Okay, so valido from the verb valer, worth. How is it similar to English? Because when something is worth, something has value. Value in Spanish is valor, which is a noun, the value, el valor. And when it turns into a verb, it is worth, then we say valer, la pena. The pena is actually the sadness. It's worth the pain, the sadness, you know. So it's worth the while, we say in English, right? Okay, so a pesar de todo. So what I wanted to explain, and I totally forgot, but a pesar de todo, we're still doing this video. Todavía todavía les puedo explicar. So I still can explain. A pesar de todo. Todavía, I like this word, todavía. All the way. To you, I can explain. A pesar de todo. Because the video is not over. Porque el video todavía no se ha terminado. Alright? Because the video todavía still not has terminado. Alright? Se ha, it has itself not finished. Okay? Alright? So when you have like some grammar issues like this, no se ha, why do you have se, why do you have se ha? This is not a grammar video. If you want to learn grammar, we have this in the general course, but it's just good sometimes to remember se ha terminado, no se ha terminado, because we can say something like, let's use this, all right, and say something like, all right, el partido, whoops, el partido, we want to copy this, all right. El partido means the match, the game. No se ha terminado. Alright. La película no se ha terminado. Alright. La serie no se ha terminado. La clase no se ha terminado. What else? La fiesta no se ha terminado. Las vacaciones. Dun, dun, dun. Alright. Now I have repeated this, no se ha terminado, no se ha terminado, no se ha terminado, meaning it has not finished or ended, terminated, right? So you start to feeling it maybe, because I'm adding here el partido, the match, la película, the movie, la serie, the series, la clase, the class, la fiesta, the party. And here we have las vacaciones. You notice something here special? It's plural, all right, it is plural. So how do we say no se ha terminado? How can we change it and make it plural? All right. So what here shows us that it is singular? No? Should it be nos if it's many? No. No is no. Se? Should it be sen? No. Ah, it has. Terminado, terminated. So this is just basically some type of a terminado participe. Okay? So that helps us realize that we want to say no se han. Why an? Why an? Because it's las vacaciones se han or no se han terminado. If we say se han terminado, is they have ended. If we say no se han terminado, they have not ended. Okay? All right. So here we have it. A pesar de todo, todavía les puedo explicar. Despite it all, I still can explain to you. All right? See here. A pesar de todo, soy una persona muy feliz. All right. Very nice. Okay, so despite it all, I am a person. Person in Spanish is persona. All right? So persona is feminine. So we say a person is una persona. So it doesn't matter if you're a man, a woman, you are una persona. You are un hombre. If you're a man, you are una mujer. Mujer. But una persona is a person in general. Okay? So we say, a pesar de todo, despite it all, soy una persona. I am a person muy feliz. Very happy. So in this case, feliz doesn't change. It doesn't change. All right? What do I mean? Soy feliz, soy grande, soy chico, chica. All right. See here? Now, feliz, grande. If you are a woman, you can be feliz. If you're a man, is feliz. If you are, which is happy. If you're a man or a woman, you can be grande. But chico is small and it's for a man, chico. And that's why we call kids chico. Hey, smally, smally. Basically, it's the meaning of chico. That's why a man or a kid, a guy is called chico. And a girl is called chica. Because literally we're calling them kid. We're calling them small. All right? So, chico, chica. Chico for men, chica for women. And soy is I am, as in always. I'm always, yeah? Otherwise, we have the verb estoy, which also means I am. If you say estoy grande, that means that you are basically wearing very tight clothes and they don't fit you, or you are just temporarily so fat that you can say estoy grande. But if you say soy grande, it means that either you're talking about age and you're already older, or you're just a big person regardless, okay? All right, so very well. You can say soy feliz a pesar de todo. I am happy despite it all. Soy grande a pesar de. Okay, now we're not saying todo. I'm giving you just another example here that came to my mind because it's a freestyle lesson. I'm teaching you what comes to my mind. Buah! Okay, soy grande a pesar de de haber entrenado toda la vida. All right. So I'm big a pesar de, despite, because a pesar de todo means despite it all. But here I'm saying just despite having training all the life, right? All my life. Okay. So soy grande a pesar de que mis padres no lo sean. All right, this has a little bit more of a more grammar, so I don't want to explain it, but sean is not Sean. Okay, I'm big despite that my parents, so padre means father, it also means priest, right? Padres, fathers can be fathers, but also it's general mother and father. Okay, I'm big despite, even though that my parents no lo sean, even though they are not. Are they? Okay, very good. Okay, so a pesar de todo. All right, so let me show you something else. All right. A pesar de todo, hemos aprendido mucho en esta clase. All right, despite it all, we have learned a lot in this class. We can say, a pesar de todo, hemos... All right, a pesar de todo, hemos aprendido muchas frases en pocos minutos. All right, so despite it all, we have learned, hemos aprendido, it's we have learned, it can only be we have learned, muchas, many phrases, muchas frases en pocos minutos. So we have many, we have a few, and we have minutes. So we know minutes, minutos, we have poco, that many of you might know even though you don't know Spanish. Everybody knows muchas, muchas gracias, pocos, and frases, phrases. You see how similar Spanish is? So, pesar, by the way, before I wanted to finish the video, but I'm going to explain something that I wanted to explain in the beginning of the video, and then I forgot it and I started talking about everything else. So luckily, I remembered it. So basically, the word pesar means to wait, whether something is on a scale, for example, something, the weight of something, whether it weighs a lot or not, whether it is heavy or not, or light. So pesar, okay? Similar to the word pasar, which is to pass, all right? Pasar as in passing something, or you passing, all right? So remember how to say to wait. Think about to pass. Pass me the weight, all right? The weight when you're at the gym, all right? So you say pásame, pass me la pesa, because la pesa literally means the weight, all right? When you are lifting the handles, okay? But if it's more than one, what do you say? You say simply pásame las pesas, and then of course you say por favor, for the favor. basically you want to say please. All right. Pásame las pesas, por favor. Another way of asking for something is, ¿me puedes pasar las pesas, por favor? Whoops. Oh my God. I write fast, but I make mistakes. All right. ¿Me puedes pasar las... Me puedes, all right? Pasar las pesas. Pass the pesos. Pass the weights. All right. Now you will... Because at first I thought, how can I make them remember the word weight? Then think about pass. Pass me the weight, pasar la pesa, and then you can remember, how do I say despite? Okay, something despite it all. Okay, despite it all is de todo. Okay, I remember that. Something about weight, pass me the weight. Pasa de todo. Is it pasa de todo? Is it pasa de todo? Is that how you say despite? Pasa de todo? No, it's there was an before. A pasa de todo? No, a pasa de todo. A pesar de todo. So despite it all. So after the weight, even though it's something heavy, although something is heavy and everything, although the heavy weight of everything, we have learned, hemos aprendido muchas frases en pocos minutos. Many phrases in a few minutes. So, a pesar de todo. So maybe, just maybe, when we started this video, you thought, how can I remember that? How can I remember that? A pesar de todo. And now I give you so many examples and you might not remember all of these and all of these and all of these and all of these and all of these. But you will remember a pesar de todo. Because a pesar de todo, you still are here, despite it all. And this is La Nueva Academia de Español, the New Spanish Academy, and we are here for you to become fluent in Spanish, whether you are new, beginner, or a little bit more advanced, or advanced and you still need to, get polished and you're rough on the edges and want to, have a better pronunciation and maybe learn some phrases you didn't know, because maybe you're an advanced that didn't know how to say despite it all, because this is not a beginner's phrase, but you can be a beginner that knows how to say an advanced phrase like despite it all, because it sounds good. It's gonna make you feel good. All right. So this is another amazing Spanish freestyle lesson. We learn more Spanish here. You know that. The New Spanish Academy. Muchísimas gracias. Thank you very much. Nos vemos en el próximo video.